Who was the pivotal artist who catapulted the grammar of painting into a national standard and shaped a century? Let's find out. Born in Montpellier in 1823, Alexandre Cabanel arrived at the École des Beaux-Arts in Paris as a teenager of conspicuous gifts. Admitted at 15, he studied under François-Édouard Picot, one of the last direct heirs of Jacques-Louis David's severe classical lineage. The École's system rewarded discipline, draftsmanship, and fidelity to antique and Renaissance models, and Cabanel proved an exemplary student of its demanding logic. He competed 3 consecutive times for the Prix de Rome before winning it in 1845 with the death of Epaminondas. A measured, beautifully resolved history painting that announced a young man who had internalized the academic ideal rather than merely performed it. His years at the Villa Medici deepened his command of colour and surface, and he returned to Paris not as a journeyman, but as a fully formed artistic intelligence, ready to move from student to standard-bearer. The year 1863 transformed Cabanel from a celebrated painter into a figure of cultural authority. His Birth of Venus, silken, luminous, and rapturously received, was purchased directly by Napoleon III at the Salon. The same year the Salon des Refusés opened down the street with Manet's Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe. The contrast was not lost on contemporaries, and Cabanel became the consensual embodiment of official French taste at its highest pitch. Elected to the Institut de France and appointed professor at the École des Beaux-Arts, he now occupied the dual role of practicing master and institutional guardian. His atelier attracted students from across Europe and the Americas. Drawn by his reputation for technical rigour, personal accessibility, and an almost paradoxical openness, he demanded classical foundations, but did not suppress individual temperament. Among those who passed through his studio were painters who would go on to reshape art on 2 continents. Through the 1870s and into the 1880s, as Impressionism began its slow conquest of critical opinion, Cabanel neither retreated nor polemicized. He continued to paint, portraits of aristocrats and statesmen executed with penetrating intelligence, religious and mythological canvases of genuine grandeur, while fulfilling his obligations at the École with uncommon conscientiousness. Year after year he sat on Salon juries, advised on state commissions, and guided students whose own Prix de Rome victories and Salon medals testified to the quality of his instruction. He understood himself as a steward. The classical tradition was not a prison, but a hard-won inheritance, one that placed technique in the service of human feeling rather than novelty. When he died in 1889, the same year the Eiffel Tower rose over Paris, France lost not merely a painter of distinction, but a teacher whose influence continued to radiate through the careers of those he had formed, men and women who carried the grammar of his atelier into the next century and into the art schools of the New World. And finally, don't forget to check the link below for our ebook offers now at a special price, so just click the link below, and thank you.